So, is being eaten out by a zombie necrophilia?
Oh,
Because technically, they're not. I mean, they're not
wow.
really alive, and they're not really dead.
What is that? What's the other side of necrophilia when the dead fuck the living?
I think that's just called Joan Rivers.
Oh!
Oh, take that, lady who's been dead for 10 years.
Yeah.
Or however long she's been dead.
It's been 5 minutes.
Am one of your hosts. I am Jared, and sitting next to me, horror buff and my good friend
Tom.
And this is They Live for Horror Podcast Episode 9. And today we look at the 1985 cult hit Re-Animator.
Yeah.
Sometimes called H.P. Lovecraft's Re-Animator.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
If the weirdo H.P. Lovecraft knew his name was attached to the amount of pussy eating in this movie, he would cry.
Really?
He lived with his mom his entire life.
Oh my goodness.
H.P. Lovecraft. We can't talk about this movie without talking about the father of modern science fiction horror. Yeah, go ahead and just open the can, Tom. The slower you open it, the louder it is.
Anyway.
Right, so H.P. Lovecraft basically invented modern sci-fi horror. He writes a story called Herbert West's Re-Animator. And it's pretty much the same story, but it came out as serials. It came out as a series in different magazines.
Nice.
It started publishing October 1921, finished in 1922.
Oh.
It was then adapted in the 1950s into its own story in its own DC comic. Then again, in 1989, there was another rendering of this story, only it was a sequel.
Oh.
And it was done only for radio, or only through audio form. It was interesting. They had Vincent Price read it. Kind of a neat thing. So this story does come from the mind of H.P. Lovecraft. And if you're a horror fan, you know H.P. Lovecraft. But one thing you should never do, Tom.
What's that?
Don't Google what was H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name.
I will Google that.
Don't do it.
Why?
Don't Google it.
I'm doing it right now.
I wouldn't. It's just say problematic.
Why is that? Does one of our fans know this, probably?
I imagine so. I imagine everyone's Googling right now because I told them not to. And people do whatever they're told not to do. So this movie, Re-Animator, was starred... let me see here. Hold on one second.
Oh.
Yeah. Tom finally got to it.
I cannot say that. You found something I cannot say on here. Wow.
You would know the main character here... or one of the main characters, played by Jeffrey Combs.
Jim Carrey.
Who you would know from The Frighteners as Milton.
I'm pretty sure it's Jim Carrey.
It's not Jim Carrey.
It's gotta be.
Barbara Crampton plays in this as well.
No one overreacts like that.
Horror icon Barbara Crampton there. So David Gale, Bruce Abbott played Dan Kane. Very good movie, though. I mean,
who played the security guard?
Oh, let me look that up.
That guy is awesome.
He didn't want anything to do.
He was like over the job when this movie started.
As soon as shit started going down,
yeah,
he was done.
I am all sorts of.
They just have him listed down as Psycho Ward Guard 1 as
Really?
James Ellis. Yeah.
Oh.
Was played by that guy. So not in a lot. James doesn't even have a photo on IMDb. Literally,
That's terrible. I've seen him in things. He deserves a photo, IMDb.
Unless I'm thinking of somebody else here. Unless they're calling it somebody else. But yes. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
This movie is a mindfuck of a movie.
It is.
This is one of the first instances of, H.P. Lovecraft's story is the first instance of science fiction zombies. If you really want to call these guys zombies, it's one of the first interpretations or one of the first.
This is so weird that I didn't even think of them as zombies. Yep. I feel so weird for not thinking that.
Now. I didn't think about it either until I was reading. And
yeah.
It was one of the facts about it is when it came out in the 1942 issue of Weird Tales, it was actually called a zombie story. It was listed under Zombie Tales.
Okay.
So the fact that people want to give credit, and all credit due to George A. Romero, one of the greatest storytellers ever in the horror
definitely,
genre.
yeah.
But really, I mean, zombies weren't a new concept, but people
That's
thought
true.
of like voodoo zombies, not raised from the dead zombie.
Yeah.
But like H.P. Lovecraft had already done that.
Yeah.
He did it here. He did it in other stories where he'd bring people back from the dead. Mm-hmm. Only in this case, they're kind of like almost mindless, but they also can kind of think.
Well, it depends on the CCs.
Yes. Depends on the Mountain Dew being shot into them.
Takes me about 150 to get out of bed in the morning. 150 cc's of reagent.
The glowing green Mountain Dew that he pours into the
There's
people.
There's definitely yellow 5 in that. Bad for the balls.
I think the whole thing is bad for you.
Definitely.
Yeah. So H.P. Lovecraft, he wrote the story that is then adapted very cheaply, less than $2 million budget for Re-Animator.
No way.
Yep, and they did it, and they knocked it out of the park. Directed by Stuart Gordon, who did movies like Fortress, Stuck. Not a lot of stuff you probably see. Masters of Horror. He did a story in that.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Sure. I don't know.
He directed an episode of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show.
Oh, okay.
So, he did Dolls, but his main thing is he did Re-Animator.
That's like Rob Zombie doing Pee-wee's Playhouse or whatever he did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just really off the grid.
Like Tom Savini helping out in Pee-wee's
Yeah.
Big Adventure movie.
Yeah.
Just one of those movies that was not critically appreciated at the time, but is now, like, if you go back and look at it now, people are like, well, actually, it's really good. And
yeah. Like I told you over text the other day, I've watched it 3 or 4 times, and that was before we decided to do a podcast on it.
This is, we have a big one coming up for episode 10, and we were going to do it for episode 9. I'm like, no, let's hold it off.
Yeah.
For episode 10, a nice round number. The special effects department went through 24 gallons of fake blood during the shoot. This was all done by one of the legendary special effects companies at the time.
I love that David Gale's picture
on
is his headless thing. Carl Hill's character. Sorry.
No, it's fine. They used the most blood ever done in Nolan's career. He said this was a ridiculous amount of blood, almost too much blood. Mm-hmm. He had never used more than 2 gallons of blood in a film before.
Oh my goodness. What? I don't know the math there to how much he...
22 more gallons of blood that he's used to.
What's the math there? Folks, you'll tweet us the math.
I just told you. He had 24 gallons of blood.
Plus 2.
No, but then he'd only done 2 prior to that. So you take 24 minus 2, that's 22.
I'm getting 26. I don't know what's happening here.
Because you're adding and not subtracting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. Let's look at the some of the kill counts in this movie. 1 dead cat.
Yes.
Horribly maimed, brought back to life, killed again, and then brought back to life again.
Yes. And somehow I forget that every time.
Yeah.
Somehow I forget the cat every time.
What gets me is that Dan sees the horrifying results of this cat being brought back. It was like, this is brilliant. We could.
Oh, yeah.
He totally just goes with Herbert.
What's he from? SVU or something, that actor?
I'm not sure. I don't... Bruce Abbott. No, I think you're thinking of somebody else. Yeah, Bruce Abbott wasn't on SVU. But, he played one of the main characters here, Dan Kane. His girlfriend or fiance, Megan Housley. Her dad is the Dean Halsey. Dean Halsey is played by longtime character actor... Robert Sampson, who played in, like, just so many movies. Sci-fi movies, thrillers, horror movies. So he had a really long career before he got to this movie.
Yeah, he had one of the more fun characters in this movie.
Yeah, he plays the curmudgeon Dean, you know? There's always one of those in the 80s movies, whether it's a horror movie or like a teen movie. Just there it is. Dr. Carl Hill is... so basically what ends up happening, Herbert West was studying under somebody out in Switzerland.
Switzerland, yep.
Comes to America with the Re-Animator
serum
formula, and right away he rubs up against the main doctor, Dr. Carl Hill.
Yeah.
Who is like...
Don't like each other
right away. And I wouldn't either. I'm sorry. Herbert shows up and acts like a
dickhead move to call him out in his own class, right?
Yeah.
That's douchey.
I mean, you need to find out Carl's a dick, but like at the beginning of the movie, you're kind of like, well, I mean, here's the student.
Yeah, that's
by the way,
true.
you're a
the
fucking
first time
student.
I watched it, I remember
Yeah.
being like, yeah, that's true.
And you're like, no, man, I could bring anything back to life. You
Yeah.
know, it doesn't matter. And Carl's like, look at this fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Just think about what kind of statement that really is and just how outlandish it sounds.
Yeah. And you watch the movie, and the movie does, the wheels immediately go off the rail for poor Herbert.
Yeah.
Although Herbert's figured it out. He's got it. He brings the cat back to life.
Do you think he scouted out, let me get the name here. Dan's roommate thing?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I think he just needed a place. Yeah. And then once he saw the basement, he was like,
oh, I remember that part.
nutted,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah.
He nutted for that basement.
Jim Carrey loves basements.
It's not Jim Carrey.
Oh.
Again, it's
Sorry.
different Combs. We've been over this.
JC. I get the JCs mixed up.
You're the first person that ever got these two mixed up. By the way, he's great as Milton in Frighteners. We need to do that one.
Okay.
Have you watched Frighteners? With Michael J. Fox. It's
I've seen something else with him recently, so I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, this movie, basically, Herbert brings back these zombies, only they can't control them. Mm-hmm. Not really. Like, they go off the rail. They're hyper violent.
Hyper strong. Yeah.
Like that one dude. By the way, the first guy they bring back to life is a fucking jacked dude.
Fuck.
Like, what are you doing? No.
You pick a
tiny lady that you could punch in the face.
Yeah.
When shit goes wrong. Because the cat clearly showed aggression
issues. It's just
issues.
the best cadaver they could find.
Like, just a giant fucking behemoth
That was the
of a
only
man.
thing they were banking on was, what did he die of? You're right.
I think
they
it was a
didn't.
car
They didn't
accident
take
or
into the
something.
heart attack.
Heart
I
attack,
thought,
okay.
Yeah.
And then the dean just gets beat to death. He fucking just gets straight
Oh
up
my
murdered. So this dude, by the way, Dan is like, he was on board with Herbert and his fiance though, and all of a sudden, like, could you imagine being Dan? Like, you're just hanging out with Herbert. He brings this guy back to life. The guy goes crazy, starts beating him up, and then your fiance's dad shows up and beats, and he gets beaten to death.
Just
and you're like, I'm
brutally,
sorry, Megan.
Yeah, see that part, oh, whatever. But, you know, she could have been a little more upset, right?
I think there was too much going on.
That's true.
Like, there was just so much going on. And her dad was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Kind of an asshole. Kind of deserved it.
I just love when he's in the corner and just freaks her out.
But, yeah. So, the movie does definitely go one direction, though. Spoiler alert, or not spoiler, but there's a moment in this movie that gets really uncomfortable, and I think we're going to save it for the categories for what the fuck moment. And by the way, that's the first category, so we're going to get into categories what the fuck moment.
Okay.
It's got to be the headless Dr. Carl Hill eating out Megan Helsley.
Ugh. That is pretty graphic.
Basically what ends up happening, Carl dies, gets killed by Herbert, and then he has his head removed, but it's still alive, and he's able to control his body.
Yeah.
And his body's carrying his head around. He strips her down and eats her out.
Yeah.
Like, this is an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Mind you, as her dad's tying her down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
her dad's corpse. Or
he's also in control of Dean's corpse.
Yeah, because he lobotomizes these things.
Yep. He basically makes them his army.
Yeah.
Which he might have been smarter.
Dude, that fucking part where they all sit up in the morgue is scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Scariest moment to me.
I love when Herbert, like, just punches one of them for sitting up.
Yeah, that's true. It's so quirky in its own way.
This movie is hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's scary. Like, it hits all the right spots.
Those 80s horror movies know
what
they knew how to do it.
This is a hard R movie. As we said, there is quite a bit of nudity in it.
Oh, yeah. I got something here. Lots of Barb's boobs, folks. Lots of Barb's boobs.
She's proud of them.
Shout out to them. Shout out to those, because they make a lot of appearances. Probably more than... what's got more appearance than that, the guard or her boobs?
The guard is definitely the heat check moment of this movie, though. He was so into that role. Like, he was so like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon. He's too old for this shit. And wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You're a fucking guard at a morgue? What's the worst that's going to happen? Some teenagers break in and try to steal a toe?
Yeah.
No. All of a sudden, everything's coming back to life. I'd leave, too.
And shout out to Indestructible Plastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Originally, this movie was going to be shot in 16 millimeter black and white.
Really? That would have been interesting.
I would love to see someone redo it.
Mm-hmm.
What did you? What was your what the fuck moment? Same.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I mean, honorable mention would be the cat. Just keep coming back to life with the cat.
My what the fuck moment was the head. For the first time I watched it was the head. Yeah. So in a way,
it's weird that he got to keep like his brain intact so much. The doctor.
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's like a level of how smart were you when you were alive,
and
you can keep that? Some of it, because for the most part he was pretty cognizant. Like, he wasn't as smart as he had been, but he was clearly the smartest person there. And the dean was just basically a walking corpse who was under control by the doctor until the very end, when he was like, "Hey, wait, no, save your daughter," and he's like, "Daughter!" Like, oh shit, is that the person I'm tying down and having be raped? That was something else, man. This movie definitely takes some weird turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that the woman Dan is seen attempting to resuscitate at the beginning of the film was a dildo enthusiast and was known to hide dildos on fake corpses throughout the movie.
Really?
So they would just be on set and boom, dildo.
Oh my god.
They tried to keep, according to Jeffrey Combs, one of the actors said the set was extremely lighthearted, and he regrets some of the things that were done in the movie, specifically the rape scene he's not so comfortable with. Same with David Gale and stuff like that. They just said they weren't big fans of it, but they did it. Hey, it happens.
Yeah.
Again, this is a very loose adaptation of Herbert West's Re-Animator. Like, I do recommend if you're bored and want to read a quick, short, scary story. It's very good. Almost everything H.P. Lovecraft does is good. The other day, I was listening to some H.P. Lovecraft stories on a podcast, and I fell asleep and had like the worst, most trippy nightmares I've had in a long time. So I don't recommend listening to H.P. Lovecraft while you're sleeping.
Yeah,
because you will suddenly have dreams about like dark tombs and hallways. And
shit!
Sounds on everywhere. By the way, if you join our Patreon, I will read some of those H.P. Lovecraft stories and some of my cool voices that I can do. So,
hell yeah,
this is the first time we can touch on our Patreon, I guess.
Can
before
you
we
do
get
a
into the
Vincent
next category.
Price?
I can try. I can sit and listen to Vincent Price for a while.
Yeah,
and do it. I can do a Christoph Waltz, but that's I can do other voices, but Vincent Price I haven't quite got to. Category. The next category, of course, is did this movie actually scare you? Yeah.
Yeah.
There are moments of this movie that actually can legitimately. I think if it gives you a nightmare, it scared you on some subconscious level. I had nightmares about this movie. I definitely had Re-Animator nightmares the first time I saw it. I had like a talking head next to me, like trying to bite me.
Okay. That's crazy.
It's a scary fucking movie.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't see it till recently.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's definitely
a scary movie. Like that zombie that comes to life and beats the dean to death. Mm-hmm. That's a shocking scene because you're like, okay, Dean, okay, we can see the friction. There's going to be some issues here. The Dean, all of a sudden, Dean is beaten to death.
Yeah.
In a very gruesome fucking way.
Yeah.
The next category, you actually had a couple categories you wanted to add. We'll get to them here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Who stole the show? I think I know who you're picking. The guard.
No. Still, Dr. Hill.
I was going to say, it can't be one of the main characters, and that's one of the main villains.
Well, then it is the guard, of course. Yeah.
I always say, like, who stole the show? I guess it can be one of the main people, if you really think about it.
Well, Hill only had, like, maybe 20 minutes. I don't know.
You're right, yeah.
But
shout out to
I know
Barbara's
what you mean,
tits,
though.
I
know it. Yeah.
They might have stole the show.
Yeah, Barbara's boobies stole the show.
But no, I think it's got to be the security guard, man. He's so quick to draw the gun and be done with everything.
Yeah.
I
don't know. He got a nick and pit from me, so that was a strike on him.
Okay.
So.
Best kill?
Oh, mine was...
the Dean. For me, it's the Dean getting beat to death.
Oh, mine is when he gets ripped apart by all the corpses at the end.
Oh, when Dr. Hill...
You just see like the shadow of him being ripped apart, or the silhouette.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool shot. It was almost like they didn't have...
I forget he dies twice. You know, like,
I forgot about that.
He has like both the cool deaths in that movie.
Yeah, also the other one where Hill gets his head removed. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The cat being beat to death is an honorable mention.
Yeah, there's a lot. All the deaths in this movie are pretty crazy.
Brutal. There's a lot of blood. Like we said, 24 gallons of fake blood is a lot of fucking blood.
Yeah.
A lot.
That is. Yeah.
What role would you have as Sid Haig play?
You know
the
this
guard.
Is the guard.
It's the guard.
This was my guard. Yeah.
It's got to be the guard, man.
Yeah.
It's got to be. He could have been. He's almost too cranky to be the Dean. Like the Dean
he has
was a
my
cranky
favorite
guy.
quote.
What?
Dean Halsey, Dean Halsey, well, I'm calling the police. And he just walks off. But he got the pick and nits from me because later when he ran out and could have called the police, he didn't. He just ran like a chicken. But it's clear how over the job he is.
Fuck
so,
yeah, dude. I mean, like, this is 1985. I mean,
Yeah.
like $3 an hour? Nah.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm pretty sure if I worked at a morgue, I would put on my resume, if one of these bastards comes back to life, don't expect me to help.
Out of here.
Yeah. And the fact that it's like several?
Uh-huh.
Nope.
Yeah, he was noping out of there lots of times.
Yeah, Dr. Hill was a really good villain in this movie because he didn't start off the villain. Herbert is like almost the villain at the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. By the end of the movie, nobody's not a villain. People got killed because they were stupid. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is one of those few movies where it's like you don't feel good about anybody afterwards.
Yeah, I think part of the story is maybe trying to show you we don't need to try and take life in our own
definitely hands. Yeah, I mean that's an H.P. Lovecraft thing. Is like don't open that door to the other side. Mm-hmm. Don't do it. Mm-hmm. Keep that door closed. Mm-hmm. And that's I mean, and
the results have usually been. Yeah.
Look at The Void. We covered The Void.
Yeah.
Inspired by H.P. Lovecraft. Don't open that door.
Yeah.
Evil Dead. Inspired by H.P. Lovecraft. Don't open the book.
Yeah.
There's this other veil. There's a veil.
Yep.
Keep that shit closed. Otherwise, those monsters are coming here, and there's nothing you can do to stop them.
Yeah.
But Megan's character in this movie is probably the only one who comes away not looking like a giant pile of shit.
Yeah.
Because she's just circumstance. She just happens to be there, and everything happens to her.
She always does just happen.
Yeah,
like she has the worst luck in the movie.
I mean, she's dating like a sweet guy. He's in medical school.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, Dan just like
he's on Law and Order.
He's not on Law and Order. We've been over this.
Damn it!
Dan goes from like a totally normal medical school student.
He does.
To just like we're gonna raise up the dead.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Herbert. And Herbert's like, yes,
because he just.
We could pierce the veil of life and death. Like, no, leave it closed. So yeah, I don't think anybody other than the security guard and Megan come away with this unscathed as like just normal people. Although, do you think they stay together?
The security guard and Megan?
No.
Oh,
Megan.
Well, I haven't seen Bride of Re-Animator, so I don't know.
Is that the sequel?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, there's
it's
audio
on
sequel.
Shudder.
Is it?
Yeah.
We might have to check that out.
Yeah. I just seen it last night.
That's crazy. I didn't even know there was a sequel to this. I'll have to check that out. I'm sure it's not good.
So yeah, like I said, points taken because he would not call the police, even though I get why he didn't.
Yeah, I'm just running, dude. I mean, that's what I would do.
Oh, I like the movie score.
It was really
kind of
good.
just like bizarre.
It's based off of the original theme was based off the Psycho theme.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was heavily influenced by the Psycho.
It was cool
theme.
how it definitely pulled on that nostalgia, but in its own way.
Sort of like how John Carpenter lifted the Exorcism theme for Halloween and just kind of redid it a little bit. They're very similar.
Up the notes.
Yeah, go ahead and listen to them again, and you're gonna go, okay, that's very similar.
Yeah. My real pick and nits are on Dan. Okay, at the beginning of the movie, he's trying like hell on the CPR.
Yeah.
Later on, Halsey doesn't try at all.
Well, dude, Halsey was
later on,
fucking dead as shit.
Barb, because her tits are out, he gives her CPR.
Well, I think...
even though he's carried her, Halsey was right there, but he carries her up the floor, to the ER, I guess.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Here's the difference. Did you see how beaten to death he was? Like, there was no chance he's coming back. The whole point of watching him try to bring that woman back the way he did was to show you that he's another one who wants to conquer death. Mm-hmm. So it sets up Dan as someone you can actually but get to help you reanimate the dead.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, but the brains and the severed head were made up of steer meat, byproducts, ground beef, and fake blood.
Wow.
And it was said to smell horribly, and it would get on cameras and clothes.
Oh.
And it was not good.
Who worked the effects on that movie?
It was a couple people.
Okay.
I had it, and now I've lost it.
Yeah.
We should probably edit this out, huh?
Nope. I'll say fuck again. Fuck.
It was John Carl Buechler.
Oh, okay.
And John Nolan.
Yeah.
Nolan, excuse me. So, and Everett Burrell. So it was a big team of guys. But you would know John Carl. from movies like, obviously Re-Animator, Hatchet.
Oh, yeah.
So I think there's a lot of them. John Nolan is the same. Got a lot of movies under his belt. From Beyond, Team America, World Police, Critters, Dream Machine. So, Last Action Hero. So, great job done by the special effects department in this movie. This is an incredible job done by everybody. The movie wasn't considered a hit until much later. Later on, the budget was $900,000.
Holy shit!
It made back $2 million. That's where I got the $2 million from. So it really only made about $1 million profit at the time.
That's insane.
But overall, since then, it's been watched, redone, rehashed, re-Blu-rayed.
Definitely.
It's one of those movies that had legs and just kept going and going and going. One of our categories, of course, is would you remake this?
Yeah, okay. I would.
Yeah, I would definitely remake this.
I mean, I think it's time now. It's been long enough.
Who would be that perfect nerd in that role of Herbert? Dan's like
Jesse
a cool
Eisenberg or something. I don't know.
Okay, I could see that, or like not a Michael Cera. Yeah, I could see like a. It almost becomes too much of a comedy though if you put Michael Cera in it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Eisenberg.
You got to be an Eisenberg fan though.
Yeah, that's true. He's almost too big for this movie.
That's true.
You know who would be a lot of fun? And he does weird shit like this.
Bruce Campbell?
No, he's too old.
He could be
Daniel
Dr.
Radcliffe.
Hill. Oh,
can you imagine Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah, man.
As Herbert? That'd be the best.
Oh shit! Yeah, that would be amazing.
And then you get like
you could pair him and Paul Dano up again then.
Ooh,
because they were in Swiss Army Man together.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
that'd be
Paul
good.
Dano could be the one this time trying to talk sense or whatever.
Yeah, I like that.
He's the crazy one in Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, and then I could see like, I don't know. You could get pretty much anybody to play the Dean, any old curmudgeon actor.
Yeah,
yeah, I would watch the shit out of this, especially if it was like a 10-episode Hulu show.
I don't know who would play Barb's boobs though.
I don't know if you're allowed to have those in 2020 out and about.
That's true.
But like a 10-episode like Hulu show.
That'd
or
be cool.
Amazon Prime show.
Like where he's just slowly slipping off into madness.
That'd be cool. That'd be a lot of fun.
Like that first episode is why he came back from Switzerland or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
You could definitely go.
We're gonna direct and star this ourselves. Jared's gonna score it. There we go.
You're the music guy.
No, I don't want to do it on this one. You're more bizarre than me.
I am pretty bizarre. Would you watch? Would you recommend this movie? Was the last category. Oh, fucking course, I'd recommend this movie.
I have another category.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's do that one first. Discuss that trailer. Sorry, the scene in the trailer.
Oh,
do that?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Or is that too random now?
No, go ahead.
Oh, Mr. West, how nice of you to join us. It saves me the trouble of sending for you. Is the quote from Dr. Hill, which of course he sounds just like that.
You nailed it.
And that's just after he's been caught between the legs of Meg.
Yeah.
Is when West walks in on Hill. Yeah. So I don't know why I chose that scene, but...
Oh, you know why? It's the most fucked up scene in the movie. It's probably like the scene that everybody knows from that movie.
It is the climax, too. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You think he was good at it?
No.
Probably not.
I mean, she did scream.
That's true.
I love the rushed ending, too.
Is it appropriate, though, to ask if she liked it or not? Because technically it was forced.
Well, it's reverse necrophilia.
Yeah, she's a pervert.
She's what a whore.
I don't think you can say that anymore.
Oh, what a...
No, I'll leave it there. But yeah, it's the most iconic scene from the entire movie.
That's true.
It's like... It's the scene everyone will talk about when they talk about Re-Animator. It's like... It's like if you're trying to tell your friends to watch Re-Animator, they got a fucked up sense of humor.
Oh my god, that first time when she knocks the dummy head off and scares herself.
Yeah.
That's cool. Little simple things like that.
Yeah, she did her role very well.
Yeah.
And that was a very good movie because of her. And everybody else in their role did really well, but she really brought it home. I think she did really well. I mean, obviously she's a horror icon at this point.
Don't call her that.
What?
Horror.
No, that's fine. Horror is a genre.
Oh.
I didn't say horror. Do you know she's appeared in 4 adaptations of H.P. Lovecraft stories?
No.
Re-Animator, From Beyond, Castle Freak, and The Evil Clergyman.
Oh, Castle Freak was the other one.
Oh, okay.
Because that has him in it, right?
I'd have to look at Castle Freak's IMDb page. I'm good.
It's a good movie. It's on Shudder, folks. And if Shudder wants to hire us...
But if you want to help the show out, go to patreon.com. They Live for Horror. We got different tiers. We're going to be doing a watch-along series on there. For $10, you can watch along with us.
We got Gypsy Tears.
What's happening?
I don't know.
You're ruining my plug.
Okay, keep plugging away.
And then I'll be reading some horror stories on there. You'll be able to get more content from us if that's something you want. Check out...
I think maybe our trailers might exclusively go to there.
Probably should leave that on Twitter just so we can get more people to the show. Yeah, because those are
Okay.
really well done, man. You do a really good job with those. But check out Jim Vicious and Tyler Fudge's podcast,
Yeah.
Suplex City Limits, just because we're not on their channel anymore. We're doing our own thing. You still need to support those guys. They're awesome.
They're very good for opening the door for us. I appreciate them big time.
Yep. The Federation podcast is out there as well. Tyler Fudge and his brother do a show there. So check them out. You got anything
I
to plug?
am at TC Herd 86.
You got a new CD coming out.
I do. I'm putting a free CD out, folks, at Budget Music and Video.
It's local, but if you want to check it out on SoundCloud,
It's going to be a big deal. At O_M_S_C on Twitter. And it's on SoundCloud. And Jared has...
I got Jared PPVT2, so I got to change that on Twitter.
Keep it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, fuck it.
It's from a time gone by.
Huck it, chuck it, football.
Is that how we're going to end this podcast?
No, you usually have your one-liner.
Don't put me
From
on the
the
spot.
beginning of the show.
I already asked.
I'll do
if you
my
thought he did
Hill
well.
impression again, I guess. I don't know.
Do you think he did well down there?
He did very...